There's a quiet truth that only those who rise beyond mediocrity truly grasp. Greatness is forged in silence. While many waste energy chasing validation, the wise focus their efforts on something far more powerful: action. The Stoics, those ancient masters of discipline, understood that merely talking about goals means nothing. It's action, consistent, relentless action, that separates the extraordinary from the average. There will always be skeptics, those who doubt your journey. Let them talk. Let them question. Let them wait for proof. Meanwhile, you keep building. Real success isn't about proving others wrong. It's about proving yourself right. You're not here to fulfill their expectations. You're here to surpass your own. And if you ever feel like giving up, if doubt creeps in or exhaustion weighs you down, remember this: the struggle you endure today is the foundation for the success you'll stand on tomorrow. This is the Stoic way, the path of quiet excellence. Don't let the noise of the outside world distract you from your mission. Every day you commit to your discipline, every challenge you face, you grow stronger. You're shaping yourself into something unshakable, something exceptional. And when the world finally notices, it won't be because you sought its approval, but because your mastery, persistence, and results have made your presence impossible to ignore. Trust the process. Release the need for instant recognition. Focus on the work, and let the world catch up in its own time. When they finally see you, they won't just see someone who succeeded. They'll see someone who refused to quit, who chose effort over ease, and who mastered the art of silent greatness. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic thinkers, wrote in his private journal, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good person should be. Be one." This quote captures the essence of true progress. Stop debating what needs to be done and simply do it. Words mean nothing without execution. You can declare your ambitions to the world, but unless you back them up with action, they're just empty echoes lost in the wind. The world doesn't reward those who talk about their dreams. It rewards those who work tirelessly in silence, away from distractions. Many seek applause before earning it, announcing their plans in hopes of praise. But in doing so, they expose themselves to doubt, envy, and discouragement. Every moment spent justifying your path to others is a moment stolen from the work itself. If you want real transformation, shut out the noise. Lock in on your goals. Let your results speak for themselves. This is the nature of true power, built in silence, nurtured by patience, and revealed only when fully realized. This journey won't be easy. You'll face resistance, doubt, and temptation. Your own mind will try to trick you into seeking validation, into proving yourself before your work is done. Resist that urge. True mastery isn't about being seen, it's about being undeniable. The world will notice in time, not because you demanded attention, but because your results will speak louder than any words ever could. So let's walk this path together. The Stoic way. Step into the shadows. Embrace the discipline of silent effort, and emerge only when your success makes the noise for you. Chapter 1. The power of silent discipline. Most people live trapped in a cycle of talking and seeking approval. They announce their plans, crave recognition, and look for validation. But the Stoics knew that true discipline is quiet. Epictetus, once a slave turned philosopher, taught that progress should be shown through action, not words. When you share your plans too early, you open yourself up to judgment, doubt, and distraction. Your mind shifts from doing to defending, from action to explanation. Imagine a blacksmith hammering iron. He doesn't announce his work to the world. He simply hammers, day after day, strike after strike, until the sword is forged. Only then does the world see the masterpiece. Now imagine another blacksmith who constantly pauses to tell people what he's making, seeking approval before every strike. His progress slows, his focus scatters, and his energy divides between work and validation. The same applies to personal growth. If you broadcast your intentions before building anything real, you invite resistance and doubt. Your mind, hungry for validation, gets tangled in external opinions instead of focusing on the task. The wise know that effort speaks for itself. The need to be seen is often a distraction from true progress. There's also a psychological reason. Studies show that talking about your goals can trick your brain into feeling accomplished prematurely, reducing your motivation to follow through. True discipline is forged in solitude. The silent worker moves forward without applause, without validation, without permission. Each day, each strike of effort compounds until the results become undeniable. That is the power of silent discipline. Try this. Commit to a 30-day challenge. Pick one goal, physical, mental, or professional, and work on it without telling anyone. Keep a private journal, but don't share your progress. Watch how this silence builds momentum and self-reliance. This is how greatness begins, in silence, away from prying eyes and judgment. The same applies to skill building, career growth, and personal transformation. Those who succeed don't seek attention before achievement. They immerse themselves fully in their work, sacrificing distractions, resisting the urge for recognition, and trusting the compounding power of effort. They grow steadily, patiently, and intentionally, until their progress can no longer be ignored. Chapter 2. Why seeking validation is a trap. The moment you seek validation, you hand power over to others. The Stoics taught that external approval is fleeting and unreliable. Seneca warned that those who depend on praise become slaves to public opinion, forever at its mercy. Think of a sculptor working on a statue. If he constantly asks for feedback before finishing, he'll never complete his masterpiece. True mastery requires internal validation. The only person who must believe in your path is you. If the sculptor changes his work with every comment, he loses his artistic voice, vision, and skill. His work becomes fragmented, lacking conviction, always shifting to please others instead of staying true to itself. The same goes for life. If your confidence depends on others' opinions, you'll always be controlled by external forces. Approval makes you feel good. Disapproval makes you feel inadequate. Either way, your emotions and self-worth are dictated by outside influences. The Stoics knew this was dangerous. A life spent adjusting to public opinion isn't a life lived on your own terms. True power comes from self-belief. When you remove the need for external validation, you become unshakable. You trust yourself, your work, and your journey, no matter who's watching or what they think. That's why the greatest minds often work in solitude. They understand that the loudest applause comes not from talking about plans, but from undeniable success. Reflect on where you seek validation. Ask yourself, am I doing this for me or for others? Write down 3 goals you want to pursue solely for your own growth. Work on them quietly, and notice how freeing it feels to act without seeking approval. Chapter 3. The Art of Detachment from Opinion. The Stoics taught that detaching from others' opinions is essential for freedom. The more you care about external noise, the less control you have over your mind. Imagine walking through a storm. The wind howls, rain lashes, and the path is hidden in mist. If you react to every gust and thunderclap, you'll stumble and hesitate. But if you focus on steady steps, placing one foot in front of the other with determination, you'll move forward despite the chaos. The world is that storm. Opinions, distractions, and judgments are the wind. Many stop when they hear whispers, doubting whether to continue. The Stoics knew this hesitation is a trap. When you let the world's voices dictate your pace, you lose control of your journey. The key is to trust yourself and move with purpose no matter the noise. The storm will always be there. Doubt from others, critics' negativity, or your own fears. But like a seasoned traveler enduring harsh weather, you must walk through adversity with an unshakable mindset. A tree that bends to every wind never grows tall. It roots deeply, resisting external forces while standing firm. The deeper the roots, the stronger the tree, able to weather the fiercest storms. The same is true for you. Your foundation, your discipline, resilience, and self-awareness determines whether you stand strong or sway with every opinion. On your path, there will be doubters, those who try to break your momentum, throwing stones from the sidelines. Some out of jealousy, others from their own fears projected onto you. But their voices are just noise. Noise can't stop you unless you let it. Their doubts hold no power. Only your belief in yourself does. Keep your focus on the road ahead. Ignore distractions. Silence the voices that don't serve your growth. Move forward with quiet determination. Picture yourself as a ship sailing through rough seas. Waves crash, wind howls, but if your course is set and you hold the wheel steady, you'll reach your destination. The storm will pass, but your progress will remain. When the skies clear, you'll stand unshaken. Not because the journey was easy, but because you chose to endure. Chapter 4. The Stoic Mindset on Hard Work. Hard work is sacred. The Stoics believed labor shapes character. Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body. The struggle itself is the reward. Without adversity, there's no growth. Without pain, no transformation. A weak man avoids hard work. The wise man embraces it, knowing effort is the crucible where greatness is forged." Think of a mountain climber. Every step is painful, every breath a battle. The higher he climbs, the thinner the air, the steeper the slope, the harsher the conditions. Yet he doesn't stop. He doesn't focus on how far remains or how hard each step feels. He only focuses on the next move, the next foothold, the next breath. His progress is slow, grueling, but steady. Success demands suffering. You must endure, persist, and embrace the grind. Many want success, but few are willing to endure the hardship it requires. The path of least resistance is crowded but leads nowhere. The difficult, unyielding path carves out those who rise above. True strength is built in adversity. True resilience is forged in struggle. Those who avoid the hard path never know their true potential. A soldier doesn't become battle-hardened by avoiding the battlefield. He faces challenges head-on, learning to adapt, fight, and endure. Likewise, a mind never challenged, a body never pushed, and a will never tested remain fragile. If you want to become strong, you must face what the weak fear: discomfort, failure, solitude, and self-doubt that come with relentless effort. Understand this: the work you do today shapes the life you'll live tomorrow. Every moment of effort stacks like bricks in a fortress's foundation. You can't expect greatness without sacrifice. You can't demand results without discipline. The highest achievements belong to those who work when no one watches, who push forward without cheers, who refuse to quit when the road gets tough. Hard work isn't a burden, it's essential to self-mastery. The person who disciplines themselves to work through exhaustion, doubt, and setbacks will one day stand above the rest. They don't arrive at the summit by chance or luck, but through thousands of hours of unseen toil, countless moments choosing perseverance over ease. The Stoics knew this well. Progress isn't given, it's earned. Only those willing to sacrifice comfort will taste true success. Choose one hard thing to do daily. Wake up earlier, take cold showers, read for an hour. Train yourself to embrace discomfort, for that's where strength grows. At day's end, reflect on one moment you overcame resistance. Write it down, track your progress. You'll see proof of your endurance and your transformation. Chapter 5. Embracing failure as fuel for growth. Failure isn't the end, it's a lesson. The Stoics didn't fear failure, they used it. Seneca said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." Every setback tests your resilience and offers a chance to grow stronger. Failure isn't a verdict, it's feedback, a reflection of where you are, not where you'll stay. Every great person has stumbled, fallen, and faced seemingly insurmountable obstacles. What sets them apart is their ability to learn, adapt, and keep moving forward. Those who embrace failure as part of progress advance far beyond those who avoid risk. Imagine an athlete training for a marathon. The first runs are painful. They feel weak, slow, exhausted. But instead of quitting, they return daily, running farther, pushing harder. Over time, endurance grows, muscles strengthen, speed increases. The struggle once feared becomes a source of pride. The same applies to intellectual and emotional growth. A student masters a subject by wrestling with tough problems. A musician improves by playing wrong notes. A leader gains wisdom through tough decisions and setbacks. Growth always follows discomfort. Failure is a stepping stone to mastery. Failure, when seen rightly, is a teacher. It reveals weaknesses, exposes gaps, and offers a chance to correct course. The Stoics accepted setbacks with grace, learning from them and moving forward wiser. They didn't wallow in self-pity or let failure define them. Instead, they analyzed mistakes, adjusted their approach, and pressed on with renewed purpose. Write down a recent failure. Instead of focusing on disappointment, list 3 lessons learned. How can this failure make you stronger? What changes will you make? See failure as a tool, not punishment. Embrace it as fuel, and you'll never fear it again. Commit to failing forward. View setbacks as part of a larger journey toward growth. Never let one failure stop your momentum. Chapter 6. Mastering emotional control. The Stoics knew true strength isn't about dominating others, but mastering oneself. Emotional control defines a strong person. It's cultivated through awareness, discipline, and perspective. Many react impulsively to life's challenges. They let anger rule, fear freeze, and doubt dictate. They see emotions as uncontrollable forces, leading to irrational actions under stress. The Stoic stays calm, composed, unshaken. They know emotions are natural but don't have to control behavior. Instead of being ruled by feelings, they acknowledge, process, and respond intentionally. Emotional mastery isn't denying feelings but understanding their source and letting reason guide actions. The difference between average and Stoic: the Stoic doesn't let outside events control their inner state. Frustration, anger, fear come not from events but from how they interpret them. By shifting perception, they control emotions instead of being victims. Imagine a raging river. If you fall in, you might panic, thrashing against the current, wasting energy, risking drowning. But if you stay calm, assess the flow, and move purposefully, you increase your chance of reaching shore. Emotions are like that river, wild but manageable with awareness and skill. If you let emotions control you, you'll be tossed about like a rudderless ship, vulnerable to manipulation and suffering. But if you master them, you steer through storms with clarity and strength. The world is unpredictable, adversity is certain. Your ability to regulate your inner world determines your success. Emotional discipline requires patience and effort. It starts with self-awareness, knowing how and why emotions arise. It continues with self-discipline, training yourself to pause, reflect, and respond wisely instead of reacting impulsively. Over time, it becomes an unshakable inner fortress where no insult, setback, or pressure can steal your peace. Emotional control isn't innate, it's a skill honed through practice. Like a warrior sharpening a blade, you must refine your reactions daily. The goal isn't to suppress emotions but channel them productively. Anger can fuel motivation, fear can prompt caution, and doubt can signal improvement. Next time anger, frustration, or fear rise, pause, take 3 deep breaths. Ask, is this emotion helping me or controlling me? Choose your response intentionally, not impulsively. Reflect on how awareness helped you reclaim power over your emotions. Chapter 7. The Power of Consistency and Habit. Greatness isn't built overnight. The Stoics knew daily habits shape who we become. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, then do what you must." If you want strength, discipline, and success, your daily routines must reflect those qualities. Success isn't a sudden event, but the sum of small, consistent efforts. Grand structures rise brick by brick, just as strong character forms through steady actions. Most fail because they rely on motivation, which is fleeting. Some days you feel unstoppable, others you struggle to move. Discipline built on consistency is unwavering. The successful person isn't the one who works hard occasionally, but the one who works hard every day regardless of feelings. Success isn't bursts of energy, it's steady, relentless effort, even when inspiration is absent. True discipline means acting independent of emotions, working even when it's tough, boring, or unrewarding. Short term. Consider water dripping on rock. One drop does little, but over time consistent drops carve stone. Your actions may seem small now, but repeated they shape your future in ways unseen. The athlete who trains daily builds endurance. The writer who writes daily sharpens skill. The learner who seeks wisdom consistently grows into a leader. Trust the process, even when progress feels invisible. This is the Stoic principle of incremental improvement, small continuous steps that build something formidable. Effort compounds. Habits you form today determine who you'll be years from now. If you discipline yourself to wake early, focus deeply, and improve skills, you'll one day be called lucky. But luck is just the visible result of unseen consistency. While others wait for the right moment or motivation, disciplined people rise steadily. They don't let fleeting emotions or setbacks rule them. They know action comes before motivation, not the other way around. If you doubt consistency's power, consider the alternative: inconsistency. Someone who works out only when motivated won't be fit. A student who studies only when inspired won't master subjects. A professional who works only when convenient won't reach greatness. Showing up daily, no matter what, is what separates the extraordinary. Those who commit to small daily improvements eventually surpass even the most talented but inconsistent. Success isn't sudden breakthroughs, but thousands of small, purposeful decisions made consistently. Think of an artist painting daily, refining each stroke, or an entrepreneur improving their business one small step at a time. Each effort compounds into an undeniable force leading to mastery. The Stoics knew transformation comes from consistency. Great minds, warriors, and philosophers weren't shaped by moments of inspiration, but years of deliberate effort. Like a sculptor chiseling stone until a masterpiece emerges, you chip away at weaknesses through daily action. Every choice to practice discipline, focus, and persist is another stroke shaping you into something greater. True commitment means honoring your work even when no one watches, even when rewards aren't immediate. It means believing in unseen progress and silent transformation. It's easy to show up when results are visible. Real discipline is forged when progress seems invisible. The Stoics didn't chase quick results. They knew lasting greatness grows through daily perseverance and disciplined action that compounds like interest. If you quit because results don't come fast, you'll never reach your potential. The wise know patience and persistence mark true greatness. Commit to the process, not just the outcome. Trust that every disciplined effort, no matter how small, contributes to something bigger. Success isn't instant. It's built in silence, repetition, and resilience to keep going when others quit. Pick one habit that moves you closer to your goals. Do it daily, no matter how small. Track your progress and watch consistency transform your life. Create a system where failure isn't an option. Pair your habit with an existing routine. Set reminders and hold yourself accountable by journaling. Over time, the habit becomes second nature, and discipline replaces motivation. As a Stoic exercise, reflect weekly on your consistency. Where did you succeed? Where did you falter? Adjust and refine until discipline feels effortless. Chapter 8. Silence as a strategy for success. Silence is often mistaken for weakness, but the Stoics knew it's a powerful tool. When you speak less, you listen more. When you listen, you learn. When you learn, you gain an edge over those who waste words. Mastering silence means controlling not just speech, but your energy, time, and presence. Holding back words, withholding emotions, thinking before reacting. These show inner strength. Too many reveal their plans too soon, talking about goals and dreams only to lose momentum before starting. Announcing intentions invites skepticism, distractions, and envy. Worse, studies show that sharing plans can create a false sense of accomplishment, reducing motivation to act. This is why many start enthusiastically but never finish. Their words replace their work. The wise know real power lies in restraint. They move quietly, work privately, and let results speak. Every moment spent explaining yourself is time taken from executing your vision. True achievers don't need validation at the start because they know success isn't talked about, it's built. The more you talk about plans, the less time you have to act. Without action, ideas remain illusions. Instead of speaking, channel energy into execution. Let silence create mystery and surprise. People will only know what you're doing when your dedication becomes undeniable. By then, words are unnecessary because your achievements speak for themselves. History's great minds understood this. Leonardo da Vinci filled notebooks with inventions but didn't share until refined. Military strategists operate in secrecy, knowing surprise wins battles. In nature, predators like jaguars, hawks, and sharks don't announce their approach, they strike with precision. Imagine a lion hunting. It doesn't roar before attacking. It moves quietly, patiently, unseen until the moment of power. Be like the lion. Let others speculate while you execute. Let them talk while you build. Let your actions speak so loudly, words aren't needed. When you truly succeed, you won't need to tell anyone. You'll simply become undeniable. For the next 30 days, practice strategic silence. Don't discuss plans, struggles, or progress. Work in the shadows and notice how much more focused and powerful you feel. Chapter 9. Enduring loneliness on the path to greatness. The road to mastery is often lonely. The Stoics accepted this as part of the journey. Seneca said, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you. Welcome those whom you yourself can improve." The process is mutual. On your path, you may lose friends, face solitude, and walk alone for long stretches. Greatness demands sacrifice, often companionship. Not everyone will understand your ambition. Some will criticize your hard work. Others will try to pull you back into comfort, mediocrity, and distraction. The average resists those who strive because it forces them to face their own inaction. Your discipline and relentless pursuit reflect what they won't do. Some will resent you, mock you, or try to dissuade you. But remember, their opinions hold no weight. The voices of those unwilling to strive should never deter those who refuse to settle. Be ready to walk alone if needed. The path of greatness isn't crowded, and that's what makes it rewarding. Many want the rewards of discipline, but not the solitude it requires. Don't fear solitude. Use it. Let it shape and sharpen your focus. Time alone is time invested in growth, reflection, and self-mastery. Solitude's silence lets you hear reason clearly, think deeply, and sharpen your mind. Profound transformations happen away from distractions. Think of a warrior training alone. While others waste time, he sharpens his sword, strengthens his body, and disciplines his mind. Each moment alone is a step toward mastery. He doesn't seek validation or encouragement. He knows the battle is won long before it begins, forged in unseen hours of training. Solitude isn't just for training, it's for discovery. In deep focus, breakthroughs happen. Philosophers retreat not to escape, but to understand better. Writers isolate not to avoid people, but to craft words that reach millions. Inventors disappear into work not to stay unknown, but to emerge with world-changing ideas. Isolation, when purposeful, becomes a tool for transformation. Solitude lets you refine ideas, eliminate distractions, and build a relationship with yourself. Without outside noise, your mind sharpens, vision clears, and purpose strengthens. Great minds like Leonardo da Vinci, Nikola Tesla, and Friedrich Nietzsche valued solitude for wisdom and innovation. They knew silence helped them hear their thoughts clearly, analyze without bias, and refine purpose without interference. Yet solitude isn't easy. Humans crave connection, and loneliness can feel heavy. But there's a difference between being alone and feeling alone. Those who embrace solitude for self-mastery never truly feel lonely. They fill their minds with wisdom, their days with progress, and their hearts with purpose. They don't seek crowd approval because their work is enough. Instead of isolation, they see solitude as a privilege, a chance to work undisturbed and build meaningfully. Solitude teaches self-sufficiency. Many fear being alone because they never learn to rely on themselves. They seek constant company, validation, and entertainment to fill the void. They confuse solitude with loneliness, missing that standing alone is true strength. The Stoics knew true power comes from within. They trained to be content in solitude, at peace with their thoughts, and joyful in self-improvement rather than external pleasures. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." This is self-sufficiency, not needing distractions to feel whole, but finding fulfillment in your own mind, discipline, and purpose. Think of an oak tree standing alone on a hilltop. It doesn't seek support from the forest or rely on others to shield it from wind. It grows strong because of isolation, its roots digging deep for sustenance, its trunk thickening to withstand storms. The same applies to you. Solitude doesn't weaken you, it makes you unbreakable. Greatness isn't about being seen, it's about being undeniable. When you stop seeking approval, you enter a world where success depends on your actions alone. Solitude sharpens your vision, removes distractions, and lets you focus on what matters. When you stop looking for permission, you become free to create, build, and forge your own path. And when the world notices, it won't be because you sought approval, but because you walked alone, unwavering and unstoppable. The world respects those who don't need its recognition to persist. When you cultivate that inner strength, you become truly unshakable. Others will look to you, not because you asked for attention, but because your discipline, actions, and results demand it. The quiet force of your dedication will speak louder than any words. If you find yourself on a lonely path, remember, solitude is temporary, but the strength it builds is permanent. Surround yourself with wisdom, books, mentors, ideas that elevate you. Find comfort in your own company, and you'll never feel alone again. Chapter 10. Becoming Unstoppable Through Stoic Principle. By now, you understand that mastery is a path of discipline, silence, and relentless action. The Stoics lived by these principles and became unshakable forces of wisdom and power. They didn't seek external validation or waste time justifying their actions. They let the weight of their work speak for them. Their strength wasn't in words, but in unwavering consistency, unshaken by praise or criticism. You don't need approval to succeed. You don't need applause to stay motivated. You only need your own unwavering commitment. Work hard in silence. Trust the process. Let time and effort compound into something undeniable. Don't look for shortcuts or easy paths. True mastery is earned through persistence and an unbreakable mindset that refuses to quit when things get tough. It's easy to chase recognition and seek validation from the crowd, but external approval is fleeting. What matters isn't whether the world applauds today, but whether you're building something so solid it can't be ignored tomorrow. Greatness isn't given. It's forged piece by piece in silent daily work, in patience to endure when no one watches, and in refusal to waver when faced with doubt or obstacles. The world won't recognize you at first. It will doubt, dismiss, and overlook you. People will question your choices, mock your discipline, and try to pull you back into comfort. They may scoff at your quiet commitment, not understanding your resolve, but in time they'll have no choice but to acknowledge your success. Your results will be undeniable, your transformation evident. By the time they see you, you'll have already won, not because they noticed, but because you became who you were meant to be. Greatness doesn't seek validation, it asserts itself. The greatest in history didn't wait for approval before acting. They didn't wait for permission to pursue excellence or applause to stay motivated. They knew success is built in silence, nurtured by discipline, and revealed only when the work is done. You must adopt this mindset. Detach from the need for acknowledgement. Focus entirely on the work. The greatest victory isn't others' recognition, but knowing you've risen above your former self. The real battle isn't external, but within the doubts, procrastination, and fear of failure. When you conquer these inner enemies, you become unstoppable. It's not about the moment of recognition, but the journey that shaped you, the resilience that strengthened you, and the discipline that defined you. That is true success. When the world finally notices, you won't need their approval. You'll already be a force too powerful to ignore. Your journey will inspire, not because you demanded recognition, but because your persistence made it inevitable. You won't chase greatness, you'll embody it. And in that moment, you'll realize the applause never mattered. Only the work did. Mastery is a continuous process. Those who dedicate themselves know the work is never finished. Growth doesn't come from fleeting effort or short bursts of motivation, but from unwavering commitment over time. The world rewards those who endure silence, lonely practice, and sacrifices few make. Those who persist rise above the rest. To command your life, understand mastery isn't about outdoing others, but surpassing your former self. The real competition is internal. Each day, strive to be better than yesterday. The discipline to improve without applause separates the extraordinary from the ordinary. You're not here to prove yourself to others, but to build something that speaks for itself. The Stoics taught hardship isn't to be feared but embraced. Every challenge, failure, and adversity is a chance to strengthen your mind and sharpen focus. The weak avoid difficulty, the strong lean into it. Knowing discomfort grows resilience. If you welcome hardship instead of resenting it, you become unstoppable. The more resistance you face, the stronger you get. Patience is key. In a world obsessed with speed, the Stoics knew greatness can't be rushed. A tree doesn't grow tall in one season. It develops over years, roots deep before reaching the sky. Your journey takes time. Don't be discouraged by slow progress. Progress is progress. Trust the process. Every step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer. The unshaken mind doesn't demand instant results, but understands mastery as patience and precision. Most fail, not for lack of talent, but for lack of endurance. They quit too soon, surrendering to frustration before results come. They let doubt cloud judgment, thinking no immediate results mean failure. The wise know mastery requires a long view. Great minds, philosophers, warriors, artists, dedicated themselves year after year, undeterred by setbacks. If you develop patience to continue when others quit, success becomes inevitable. Patience isn't passive waiting. It's active refinement of craft, mindset, and purpose. It's enduring long obscurity while building something remarkable. The sculptor doesn't strike marble once, expecting a masterpiece. He chisels away, refining details with quiet resolve. So must you. Every day you push forward, even when progress is unseen. You shape your future. Discipline is a muscle. Like any muscle, it must be trained. Each time you stay focused, work when you want to quit, you strengthen your persistence. Over time, discipline becomes second nature. It no longer feels forced, but defines who you are. Then the question isn't if you'll succeed, but when. Mastery is inevitable for those who refuse to quit. The Stoics taught control over the mind is the highest power. Many live at the mercy of emotions, letting fear, doubt, and distraction rule. But those who master themselves master the world. If you stay composed in chaos, focused amid distraction, and steady in criticism, you'll be unstoppable. Your mind is your strongest weapon. Train it, guard it, and never let outside forces dictate your path. Patience is the fortress protecting you from impulse and fear. Mastery isn't a final destination, but becoming someone who never stops improving. The path is endless. Rewards come not from reaching an endpoint, but from transformation along the way. When you embrace this, you see success isn't about validation or recognition. It's the satisfaction of knowing you gave your all. Success is a process, not a moment. The journey is long, filled with unseen battles and silent sacrifices. There will be times no one understands why you work so hard, wake early, train longer, or push when others choose ease. Don't expect them to understand. Their validation isn't needed. Your strength is built in unseen hours, in struggles when no one watches. Keep refining your craft, sharpening your mind, and strengthening discipline. Don't worry who's watching or what others think. In the end, your success won't be measured by applause, but by the depth of your character, the strength of your will, and the legacy of your effort. When that moment comes, when your results speak for themselves, you'll know the silent, relentless journey was always the true reward. The late nights, quiet victories, and disciplined choices, all worth it. Don't be distracted by the world's noise. There will always be doubters. Let them talk, doubt, and wait for results. You keep creating. True success isn't about proving them wrong, but proving yourself right. You're not here to meet their expectations, but to exceed your own. If you feel like stopping, if doubt or fatigue tries to break you, remember the struggle you endure today is the foundation of tomorrow's success. Every great person faced doubt, but what set them apart was refusing to quit. Keep going. Keep building. The world doesn't need to see your effort now. It will see it when your results become impossible to ignore. This is the Stoic way, the path of silent excellence. Don't let external distractions deter you. Every day you commit to discipline. Every challenge you embrace, you grow stronger. You're forging yourself into something unshakable, extraordinary. When the world finally looks your way, it won't be because you sought approval, but because your mastery, persistence, and results made your presence undeniable. So trust the process. Let go of the need for immediate recognition. Focus on the work. Let the world catch up later. When they finally see you, they won't just see someone who succeeded. They'll see someone who refused to stop, chose effort over comfort, and mastered silent greatness. Yes, are you ready?